quick heads up ahead of today's episode. Unfortunately, due to some heartbreaking technical difficulties, we have lost the video of today's episode. It is still obviously available as audio, as you are listening to it right now. If you normally watch the episodes, I hope this won't detract your enjoyment from listening to the show. Thank you. This is a particularly horrible story to start this week's episode, and I can only apologise, but my pal told me this, and as a way of reading out other people's stories at the beginning, I'm going to share this. It's fairly graphic, but it is the epitome of one of these stories that will haunt this man for the rest of his life. My mate lives in a house where the bathroom is right next to the kitchen, and so his wife had a couple of pals over, and when he was going to get ready to work, he said he didn't want his wife's pals to know that he was taking a dump. He was going for a number 2 before having the shower, because it's right next to the kitchen. So he says he turned the shower on, and he was doing a dump. But even then, he said he didn't want to flush it straight away, as if they would know that he was giving themselves away. But what he also did, and this is what makes it horrible, even I feel bad hearing this person's story, is that he had a quick trim of himself as well. So there was a bit of manscaping. So there's pubes now in the toilet on top of the number 2. Then he went for a shower, forgot that he had done all that, left the bathroom, and when he came back downstairs, he saw one of his wife's pals coming out, who had obviously gone for a pee and just had the most horrified, shocked look on her face. Like, what goes on in this house? What is that? And he says he'll never forget that the rest of his life. But this is what this podcast is all about. Welcome back to another episode of Stop Watering Dead Flowers with me, your host, Chris Forbes, in association with the Stand Comedy Club. Stop watering dead flowers. That's a horrible story to start.
Was that meant to chip into that or not?
No, we just do a wee intro story from people, you know.
This is why you're saved in my phone as PS, pubic shite. That's why. So we do it.
Delighted to say this week's guest is the wonderful Ray Bradshaw.
Hello.
Sometimes in this podcast we get, people from, the showbiz industry, but very rarely is where we get a wee overlap. Where it's also a friend.
Oh,
it's also a
and that was the last episode. And today it's a nemesis.
As way of introduction, I feel like people will know you now from lots of different things because obviously...
Because I need money. So I do a lot of different things, yes.
But stand-up, I guess, predominantly is your big thing, but now people see you on the radio and TV, you're touring, you do a little bit of everything. Comedy and stand-up, though, you're still your first and kind of main passion, would you say?
Yeah, not financially. It's a curse. I like it when I get an advert and you're like, class, man, I can go on holiday this year. Or more, no, I'm 37 next month, so it's more like, I did something really cool, did a filming thing, it's not out yet, really happy with it. The chat at home was, nice one, we can get a new front door. And that's what that happens to.
That's what it equates to.
Yeah, stand up, kind of bread and butter. And then I love doing radio. I do a lot of work in football now, which is class, kind of a big football geek. So that kind of stuff. It's kind of like you though. You've done lots of different things.
Yeah, as you say, I guess you have to really, don't you?
I've seen you be a goth. I've seen you in a Netflix drama that I was watching. I was like, fucking, that's Chris. What's he doing there?
A true crime documentary.
You were the first Scottish comic I ever met.
That's right, in Manchester.
Yeah,
bizarrely.
In Kingong, you were the first one. You won. I think I finished 3rd or 4th, and then our lives have been the same ever since.
Yeah, not
so
much.
You're my number 1 ever since. And then what I quite enjoy about this is you're hungover today, and I think you've probably seen me hungover more than I've seen you. So this is a nice kind of juxtaposition. Yeah. How rough are you? You bad?
This will be coming out, I don't know, probably late September or something. But at time of recording, The Fringe has just finished last night.
Yes.
And I was calling a Kaylee and singing songs.
It's the most Chris Forbes sentence ever. The biggest arts festival in the world. What were you doing? Oh, something traditionally Scottish.
Apparently,
did you take the accordion?
Vittorio was.
Did you take the accordion?
I didn't, but there was an accordion there.
Did you bash one out?
I tried, yeah.
And then did you play the accordion?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
But apparently he was like, "Oh, we're going to do a Kaylee." Vittorio kind of had this idea. and he was like, we need someone to call the Cayley. And apparently he asked maybe Liam Withney, another fellow comic, and David at Monkey Barrel, who would call a Cayley? And they just went, well, Chris plays the accordion, so if anyone could, he probably can.
No, your upbringing. Yeah. I'd imagine you did Cayley, like, you know how everyone does it, just Scottish dancing for a bit. You would go like after school classes for it and all that.
I took it seriously. Like, we're going to have organised fun. No, it was great fun. But yes, a rare late night for me now as a parent, as you know yourself, it's very, very rare.
I did laugh when I messaged you this morning to double confirm this, and it said last online 3:57 a.m. And I was like, he's been in a car crash or he's been out last night.
The last try
car
for
crash
help.
was more likely.
Trying to say goodbye. I don't know. But no, looking at this podcast as well and looking at the format, just before we come on air, you said you were going to struggle with this.
Yeah.
Because as we've established, I feel like throughout these episodes, people fall into two camps. People that are just riddled with regret and embarrassing stories, and people that feel like they can just move on, no, what's happened's happened. And you fall into the latter.
Oh, yeah. Actually, do you know what I nearly did? So I nearly WhatsApp a group chat with my brother and my sister, and a group chat with all my pals from P1. I've made no new friends since. You've met all of them. Like you know all of them,
Good
right?
bunch.
Yeah, nice people. Why would you need more? I was going to say, what mad shit or what embarrassing stuff. And I was like, I don't think I can bring myself to read all these because there'll be some bad ones in there. So I was like, I don't need these. I've obviously forgotten them all.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Maybe then you'd remember tons and go,
P2, you shat yourself. That would have been coming up. That kind of stuff. We don't need that in our life. My sister was like, S6, you shat yourself. Like, it would have been that kind of stuff. So I was like, no, I don't need that in my life. So no, I don't think, like, because you messaged me about the concept, which is a really good concept, but I was like, oh yeah, I've just kind of switched everything off.
Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know if that's healthy. You know, because some ways it's quite healthy. You've been able to go, no, I don't hold on to things. I've let them go. Or is it that you do have things and you have just you've repressed them to such an extent?
That's why I don't go to therapy, in case they bring up the fact I killed a guy. And I'm like, what? When did that happen? Like,
I do have one regret. Yeah,
we didn't do the other one. But yeah, it's just like, no, I've just kind of always been like that. And if I have a bad gig, I just kind of move on. If I've
what's that like?
Yeah, it's nice. It's quite nice.
Good.
I don't really think about or dwell on things, but I must.
That's why, I mean, I think it's fair to say as well that I feel like I like to think of myself as a positive person, but I'm a dweller for sure. And I feel like even when we've done like longer stints together, like in Australia, you've got a positive outlook. You're always quite confident going into things. And I feel like I'm quite anxious because I'm remembering something awful.
I think sometimes me, you and Mark Nelson have a wee group chat, and there'll be times when you and him have said you've died at a gig, and I will know for the fact that the next day you still be thinking about it. If I put in the chat that I've died at a gig, please know the next day I'm probably at soft play having the time of my life, not thinking about it, taking that money and spending it. My son's at school, I'm by myself, but like I'm just enjoying it. So yeah,
I'm still thinking about winning.
See, that's the thing. I died in my arse and it was my own fault. And I didn't really. We were doing a gig and it was like West Calder or something like that. And they'd moved it to an Orange Lodge and hadn't told me. And there was a picture of the Queen. And this is like last year. And my opening line was, "Fuck, has no one told you?" And the silence. But I was like, that's fine, I've caused this, I don't mind. And after that, I was like, I would get laughs, but then they would stop. And there's little bits like that. I don't really think about it that much. I just kind of. I think if I did, that was one of the things I was scared this would open up. And you'd be like, because dating wise, I think I've always done pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I thought about that today and I was like, you obviously haven't otherwise, because you'd be incredible. You'd be in The Bachelor. I mean, I met Callum Best the other day. Like, he's probably going to hang out in his circles. So I've obviously fucked it a lot of times. Yeah. But I just don't think about it.
Well, that's good, because then it feels like you will have stories, but they're not regrettable moments for you. They're just things that happened.
It's something, you will say something today and I'll go, oh, I forgot about that. And I will bring up something and I'll and just kind of move on. So
one man's regret is just another man's funny incident.
It's a long name for a Friends show, but I think it would probably sell. We can do it.
Well, let's see what we've got. Well, again, we'll start at childhood. And was there a moment that jumped out for you that went, that maybe you went, well, if this has happened to someone else, it'd probably haunt them for life, but for me, no problem.
There was nothing. And I genuinely, and I grew up, my house was like unconventional.
Yeah.
So my mum and dad were deaf. I would phone the bank when I was like 7. I would chat about mortgages and APR rates and all this
Wow,
kind of stuff. My mate Mac, who you know, was telling me about when we were like 9 years old, went down to Scotstoun Leisure Centre to try sneak into a fives pitch and climb the fence. And I just went in and negotiated with the person at the front desk to open it for us. And he was like, who does that? It's like I was so used to chatting to adults.
So you had to be quite mature from a young age.
Yeah. So like chatting, and I can't remember who I was speaking to about this. I've never been nervous at a gig, ever.
Oh man.
I think in my life, I mean, Michael Redmond, a friend of ours, brilliant comic, once said to me, "You're the person that's most like you are on stage, off stage."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, thank you," and he was like, "It's not a compliment." He's like, "You must be fucking unhinged in different ways."
Yeah.
And so
that is a good description, actually.
yeah, I've never really thought about. Well, I remember I was on tour with John Bishop doing the O2. It was like 13,000 people. And just before I was getting announced, I was like, right, we going to the pub, what we doing after, blah, blah. And they were like, please welcome. I was like, right, I'll catch you in a bit. And just go out. So, because I have never understood, like, people who we know and kind of much more famous people that you gig with sometimes. Like, and Sean the text in the back corner just now, like, you'll have seen this. People who are like madly famous and they'll be, for 10 minutes before they go on stage, they don't speak.
Oh, yeah.
Or
yeah.
they go be sick. Or there's certain people, like I've supported Frankie Boyle a lot over the years, and Frankie will maybe like 5-10 minutes before, he just goes a bit quiet and he just looks over his notes. And that's fine, that's everyone's things. Whereas like, I can literally, do you remember, Sean, was it last week, 2 weeks ago? I arrived in here, I was closing Glasgow after doing the Fringe show, so I arrived in and Jack, who was managing, was like, I'll give you 5 minutes to get ready, and I was like, get me fucking on. Like, I want out of here. I do not need any time. I will walk on, do it and leave. So with childhood, no, the one I thought of today, again, I probably haven't thought about this in 15 years.
I feel like, just before you tell me though, this must be some kind of superpower that you're describing, and there must be a word for being complete. That's not just confidence. It feels like there's
Narcissism. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
But it's
psychotic.
Like, it's a superpower to have.
I just don't think about stuff that much.
Yeah.
It really annoys my wife,
Right?
Because I will start a sentence and then just not finish that and go and do something, and like, because something else will be happening. So I'll be going to talk to her about something I've done.
Yeah.
And then in my head I'm like, that's not important anymore. Just put that away and walk away. And Haley's like, why do you always do that? So yeah, I was trying to think of.
So 15 years ago, though, something...
No, so I reckon this would have been...
Oh,
so
when you were 15?
Yeah, I probably not thought about it in 15 years. So I would have been 12 or 13. And a couple of stories I'll tell you today are football related. This was... I remember my mates slagging me off for this because it ruined their fun.
Right.
But I don't remember feel guilty about this. So I'm a Partick Thistle fan. We were at a Partick Thistle open day. And what they used to be able to do was... I genuinely haven't thought about this in so long. I did a football radio show most weeks and I've never told this story. So I used to go onto the pitch, and because we were under the age of 16, so we had season tickets, so you got to go on the pitch, meet the players, and sometimes what they would do is, this year it was Jakob Mikkelsen, who was a goalie from the Faroe Islands, Islands International. We'd signed him, and they were letting people hit penalties into him.
That's cool.
It's quite cool, yeah. Not me, remember I said I'm a very overly confident person. So I was playing football to a decent level at this point, and I said, Jakob, I'm going to hit a free kick against you. So everyone else is taking penalties, me being 12 or 13 being an absolute wee wido, gets the ball, puts it about 20, 25 yards outside the box, take a free kick. What do you think happened?
Straight in his arms.
Nope. Over the bar, into the stand, and broke a seat. And no one else was allowed to hit a penalty after that. So like the whole queue got abandoned. And I remember, I don't feel bad about that. That was me being stupid. But I remember my mate, I think it was my mate Paulie, was like, I was fucking third in line. I'd waited for like 5 minutes for this. And everyone had to stop because of me. So looking back, I should feel bad about that. But
that I would feel
how often
bad
do you
about
get
that.
hit a set piece against it? At least I didn't shoot from a corner. Like, that's something I might have done.
Do you know what, in terms of what we've just spoken about, both in terms of like, you don't really regret things, and then also you've no regrets about that. I think one of the key things for me is I would constantly think about how that's affected other people.
Well, yeah.
Like, because you worry about other people. Yeah. As a direct correlation here, that Kelly last night,
yeah.
I've already thought quite a few times today, very bad about, because it had gone on for so long, I stopped the willow dance at the end, and there were still like 3 people that hadn't done the spin and got to do the up
It's
and
too
down.
long a dance anyway.
And I feel really bad for those 3 people. I
Do you
feel
know
like
them?
they were looking. No,
Who cares?
but I'll think about them now for the rest of my life. Because I feel like,
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. If I do something like that, I'll probably think about it for maybe a day or 2.
yeah,
And then something else will happen, and then that'll just like I don't know if I'm just dumb and I don't have enough space for like the rest of it. So something comes in, and then that'll just move out. There'll be stuff from us. I don't know if you get this where someone will talk to me about something I've done on stage, and probably haven't done it in 3 or 4 years. I completely forgot about that.
Wow.
Because I don't write stuff
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I write maybe bullet points, but I've never really
Yeah.
written a script or anything like that. So yeah, maybe I'm just dumb and I just don't think about stuff. The fact that I couldn't think of another word for dumb after saying it once already suggests potentially this guy's a
the
big dumbo
superpower
man.
is
Yeah.
it's weakening it. There must be a different
Yeah.
word.
Maybe lager is what charges me. Like we could do that.
As an aside, how was that Faroe Island goalkeeper?
Oh
for
shit! You
Parton?
played about 8
Yeah,
games
I
that
was
they get punted
thinking-
off. Yeah, it was really. We do a thing where no matter what good player we have, we bring in someone new to try to replace them, and it
Yeah.
never works. So Kenny Arthur was our goalie for ages. We kept on bringing people to break him. Chris Doolan, our striker, we did that. But yeah, that was, and see, in my childhood,
Yeah.
I'd imagine there was a million things I fucked up, a million, and I'd have to ask people. And the minute, like, see if I message Pam and Mark, my brother and my sister, and they go, "What about that time?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
bit of
"Yeah,
thoughts.
oh yeah, yeah." Oh, I remember one time I was at, we went to Abernethy, the school.
Oh,
So I was in P6.
Abernethy, man, that was a classic.
Yeah,
Our school
yeah.
went there as well.
So we went up there, and there was a maze, and like I said, I was quite a confident child, so I got stuck in the maze and I couldn't work it. So I jumped a 10-foot drop to get out of the maze, and it turned out it was a marsh, and I got really stuck, and I got really muddy. And I remember Julie Gillis, who was in my year, saw me and she tried to shout and help me, and then we had to get back in a bus, and everyone's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" Because I'm just like muddy. But again, that was fine. I think I just got hosed down or showered or something like that, and I was fine after it.
That I feel those 2 stories, although completely different, the football free kick and the mate, they're so similar. We're getting an insight into how your mind works.
Yeah,
Like,
very-
I'm not taking a penalty. I'm taking a free kick.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not doing the maze. I'm fucking climbing out.
Also, so actually, we are going back to the Landmark Centre in a couple of months. A month, my mum's 70th. We're going up to stay up north. We're taking our wee boy there.
Oh, nice.
I'm intrigued to see how big that drop is, because in my head it was
Yeah.
quite a big drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just a lot of time I'll start things and just be like, "Oh, I can't be arsed with this." I'll probably leave this podcast in about 10 minutes and then go there.
Well, let's move
I'm going
forward.
to come across a fucking dick on this
No,
one.
I think it's really curious. We also had Tamsin Kelly, who said she just doesn't get embarrassed as well. It was a slightly different type of thing. Like she was still getting there, but she was like, "I just don't have that thing." She's like, "I don't get embarrassed by stuff," and it's really intriguing how people's minds work.
Yeah, I must get embarrassed about some stuff, but yeah, I can't remember the last time I felt embarrassed. I do stupid stuff all the time. I said on the radio a few weeks ago that the wrong person had died. Well, that's pretty bad.
How is that? This should have been the first thing we talked.
I was going to talk about that later. There's a few. Yeah,
Let's please fast forward to
Said the
a
wrong-
career moment.
said the wrong name on the radio, and
What was this like?
It was
set
on off
the
the
scene?
ball. It was on off the ball. A legendary Partick Thistle scout had died, and he was either called Alan Dinney or I can't remember what it was. And I said the wrong. There's 2 Dinneys.
Right.
And I said the wrong. Bobby Dinney and Alan Dinney. And I said the wrong one. And then we got an email about 15 minutes later going, "You need to correct this."
This guy's still alive.
He's listening. And I felt bad because this guy, would it be, I think it was who was the older scout? I can't remember which way around. But he'd like, his legacy is incredible. He discovered Kenny Dalglish and all this kind of stuff.
really?
And we did this lovely tribute to him. But I said the wrong name. So I've done tons of stuff like that. It's mad. I don't know how I've still got a career. Career-wise, professional-wise, the one where I did it as a bit of stand-up for a bit, and the first time I ever did live telly.
Right.
So it would have been. Do you remember STV used to do STV Glasgow?
Yeah.
And they would get comics in
Was
for
it like you
interviews.
and Cameron? And
Yeah, maybe Kat Harvey or
there was 2 of
Jennifer
them.
Reuk,
aye.
maybe something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
David Farrell.
And they would get comics
They would get-
on
yeah.
kind of late night.
So
kinda-
I did this. I'm going to guess this is 2012,
That's going back,
2013.
yeah.
And I was doing a show about deers. I started doing the deer show, but I hadn't done it in Edinburgh and stuff like that. and this is live telly, and it was my first time doing live telly. So now, see if I'm on stuff, I don't really post about it before. Like I never post when I'm on off the ball. I never post when stuff like that. I'm not a big. I kind of forget to do social media. I'm not a big fan of it. So it's like a needs must. I know you hate it.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to do it. But so I told everyone. I put a Facebook status on privately, which like remember in like 2012, 2013, people did that, and I was like, I'm going to be on TV tonight, all this kind of stuff. And the bit at the end, so I'd smashed it. I'd done really well. And then I got to the end and they were like, you probably wouldn't even notice I made a mistake, but I do. So I went to plug the venue I was going to be doing in Edinburgh the following year, and it was the Gilded Balloon.
Okay.
So, but the problem was when I started this, I could not think of the word venue. And I don't know if you ever get this. So I'll be saying a sentence and all I'm doing in my brain is thinking, what's the alternative for that word if I can't think of that word? And it's always like a illustrate or something. I can never think of that word, right? So I'm trying to think like draw, like go down. I remember my mate.
What's another word for dumb?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I remember my mate Craig phoned me when we got married, because we went, not me and Craig, me and Haley went to get married in New York, and Craig was in Thailand. I just told my friends, and you were one of them, through WhatsApp. I just sent a picture saying just got married in New York, and Craig phoned me up steaming like 4 a.m. from this nightclub in Bangkok. And he was like, well done. Like, it just hung up because I couldn't get out. So I'm on this telly show. I'm trying to say Gilded Balloon, and I can't think of the word venue for the life of me, right? So I start the sentence once, and I do this sometimes. I did like a wee fake cough. Like Sean, you might have noticed this, but if I'm doing a bit and I can't remember the next bit, I'll
Buying
take
a bit of time.
Yeah, but I'll go, oh, I'm sorry, and I'll start the sentence again, or maybe take a sip of water or something like that. Start it a second time.
Nothing
can't get
coming
anything.
to.
I do another week off. I start a third time, and whoever's hosting is looking at me like, "Can you smell toast? Like, what is happening here?" And instead of venue, you might not even notice how I got away with it. So it was so subtle. So I went, "It's nice to be doing the Gilded Balloon," and because it's one of the biggest show putters honours at the Edinburgh Festival, and. Oh man, I've never watched it back, but I'd imagine I just melt into it like, you fucking idiot. And then I remember I came out and I just did where you don't want to switch your phone on, so I switched my phone back on, and it was like the WhatsApp messages and texts were coming through, because it's still a time with different text. And I just looked, and I just won from my dad, and it just said, "Show putters honours. Why do you always bring shame to our family?" And I was like, oh yeah.
Do you know something though? That is hilarious. But what a phrase! What a turn of phrase! I feel like we should have a call out to all comics for next year. If anyone says, "Oh, where are you doing it? What show putter honour are you with?"
But I was like, yeah, that's a good one.
Show putter honour.
And
It's almost harder to come up with that as a turn of phrase.
Venue, I could have said place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but I do that sometimes when you're just trying to panic and thinking. And also in comedy as well, when I don't actually find it on stage. I don't know how you find it, but I think my brain works much faster on stage.
Yeah.
I think when I'm doing interviews or podcasts or radio, sometimes because you're not in full performance mode,
you don't adrenaline.
You don't
driving it,
switch as much. And yeah, sometimes you just start a sentence, you have to hope someone interrupts you and then jump in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably that one. Even what were the ones you wanted to make go? Career?
Well, childhood, career, relationships, one we try and do as well. But it doesn't even have to be in terms of romantic. It can be a relationship in any sense.
The only relationship one I could think of was 2006. Ooh. I met it was a girl I knew, and I'd gone out with her friend before for a little bit, and then we split up. And I really liked this other girl, and we're at a house party on must be a Saturday night. I don't know whose party we were at. And we're like flirting and stuff like that, and then I was gonna walk back with someone. She was like, "I'll come with you." So we ended up sitting outside chatting for like a few hours and stuff. It was very romantic.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. Proper rom-com vibes. And then she was like, "Do you want to go to the cinema tomorrow night?" So that would have been the Sunday night. And I was 6th year at school. She was 5th year. Right. So I remember being like, "Yep, let's do that." And I didn't have a number, so this date was arranged through, correct, Bebo. And so we're doing that. And then we go and I remember looking at the cinema listings, and the only film we could go see was United 93. which is a film about the 9/11 terror attacks.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know about you, bit of an aphrodisiac for me. So I was like, let's do it. That's going to be controversial. And then, so I was like, let's do it. So we meet at the train station, we get the train in, and it's just one line she said to me. So we go into cinema and we start watching it. And have you seen the film United 93?
I have.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
Right? So the build up was quite slow.
They're
And
just
I'm-
on the plane for a long time.
Yeah. And I turned round to Vi and I went, when's the good bit happen? And she went, you mean the massive terrorist attack? And I was like, yeah. Where's that? We went out for 2 years. That was our first date.
When's the good bit
the good bit
happen?
happened. Yeah. Again, I've never spoken about that before.
Listen,
I blocked that bit out.
Cinematically, you know, the good bit.
I mean, depends whose side you're on, doesn't it? but fucking hell. So yeah, that was one of them. Yeah,
This is great. This will be the clip I put out so I can get your off the ball job.
Yeah, that's fine. Wait till you see my tour dates in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be class.
Do you know, again, I'm pretty sure I've not mentioned this, but people tell their relationship stories and it reminds me of kind of awful things.
I'd imagine because is this a place where you say this? You fall in love with the idea of falling in love a lot over the years. I'd imagine you are diving straight in and
I was
fucking it regularly.
hopeless romantic for sure. But in terms of first dates, I had a couple of really bad ones, and I think because I as you say, I would put all the eggs in a basket very early on and think this is the one.
Yeah.
So on a first date, But the worst first date film I ever went to the cinema when I was at university, we went to see Passion of the Christ.
That's insane. Mine's is bad. That's insane.
It was so bad, and it was the worst thing is
unless it's where did you go see it where you were brought up? Because that'd be so blasphemous. A lot of it would be edited.
No,
So, there's no bad bits.
The worst thing is we didn't even talk about how awful it was, but the mood was so ruined
You
by
just think
watching this film that at the end we just kind of went. Oh, she just went, "Well, I'll see you later." It was so awful.
And you were angry because she seen another guy topless before you. I can remember that as well.
And it was tough. I mean, obviously some pretty brutal scenes. There's a good bit, I guess, depending on whose side you're on. But it was a shocking first date film.
Yeah, I must have had bad first dates.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember any of them. I think I was also in my head, right? I'm so chatty and personal as a person.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't go well, I'll still go on with them.
You can
I'm
charm.
still, yeah.
I put so much effort into thinking, I think probably I chose the film as well, thinking this will seem like quite a kind of arty film. Like this will make me seem like we haven't just gone to see some sort of action. Like let's go and see Passion of the Christ.
Just go see Fast and Furious, man. Like,
think of it later. There was another day, and I actually still know this girl, and
give her a shout.
She listens to
Look at the
this.
camera. What's her name?
Hi, Carly. And I do regret this. I don't know if we've ever spoken about it.
Yeah. Do you do a massive shite and trim your pubes in her house?
No. But
allegedly.
Your
friend.
On a date, I thought, how can I make it feel like really cool and interesting and not just like the norm? Like, I really want this to go well. So I took her on a walk round the Necropolis graveyard.
Oh, you absolute loser.
I thought we could look at the cathedral and go in the graveyard, but she turned up very lovely in a dress and heels. And she was like, I really didn't think we'd be walking around a graveyard. Yeah. And I thought, this will make me seem really cool and interesting. Look at the history.
Got a trespass jacket and walking boots on. We just want different things from this, Carly. That is so funny, man.
It was bad.
I did a date, we went to the bingo.
The bingo,
that was fun,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah,
That's good fun.
Yeah, just us fighting old people for winning. Yeah. Those kind of, no necropolises or anything like that.
I don't know.
That's so funny, mate. That's awful.
That's tough.
I had a regret last week.
Brilliant.
You were there.
Oh, the football?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about the penalty. I nearly brought it up when you talked about the penalty story.
Yeah, your penalty.
I still feel bad for.
Yeah. So we played, for context, playing a charity football game last week, and comedians against the Simon community, homeless charity, street soccer, all this kind of stuff. And I essentially became de facto captain at one point, didn't I?
Yeah, good.
I performed a coup.
Yeah, general, but we needed a midfield general. This was a team full of comedians, so none of us had any idea what was happening.
Do you want to know the best slagging I've ever heard on a football pitch? So the guy I was marking, you know, their centre mid that was really good.
He was good, yeah.
He turned to me. We were chatting a little bit during the thing, and he was like homeless, former drug addict, stuff like that. And one of our players went to kick the ball, and they kicked it straight out of play. And he turned to me and went, "He's so bad, he makes me want to do gear again." Which is easily one of the best slaggings I've ever heard.
It got quite feisty as well. It was a competitive match. Yeah. There was a few homeowner jibes. I mean, it got personal. It got personal.
Nah, some of the chat was out of order.
Oh, really bad.
But yeah, so I started organising our team. You played really well.
Very unfit.
You missed an awful penalty.
It went over. It was Roberto Baggio World Cup.
So I was sorting the penalty takers, and then I was meant to take one, and then who was it? Was it Gareth March? Really wanted to take one, so I was like, I don't mind missing out. It's fine.
Yeah.
And also the optics of us winning is not the best, so it's probably better you deliberately missed it, didn't you?
Yes.
But so that game, so it was lots of comics. It was good fun. But do you know what my regret is?
Not taking one. Telling us all afterwards that you've never missed a penalty.
Oh yeah, that's fine. No, my regret was at full time. The guy from STV came over, who'd been filming the game, and he went, "I'll just take your mic off," and I was like, "What?" And he went, "Do you remember we put a microphone on you?" And I was like, "No."
Wow.
And I was like, "How bad was it?" And he said, "You called the ref a cunt 8 times." At one point, I think it was Gareth Much asked the ref how long it was left, and this is a direct quote from the ref. He said, "I'll blow it now if you tell him to stop shouting at me." In a charity game with no stakes.
Oh,
so I regret that.
This really makes sense because I saw the wee bit on the STV news and it was very short.
Yep. And also,
there was hardly any footage of the game.
There's some footage of the game, but then when I'm playing, there's no sound. When other people are playing, there's sound. Because I would have just been shouting. And I think I was quite shouting positive stuff to people and stuff like that. But the ref was awful. So I was having a lot of goes at him. And I felt bad about that.
Miking up anyone for that game was a bad idea.
I don't remember it. Someone literally must have just clipped it on to me.
I kept seeing someone running around just grabbing people.
So I had it on, I think, the whole game. So I regret that. I regret my behaviour.
If we could get a copy of that.
All you'll get is me heavy breathing, swearing at people, and telling people I can't believe how good Larry Dean is at football. Like, that is what you'll get. Larry was outstanding.
Larry Dean really surprised me. I think it was because fitness levels were so high.
Yeah.
So that's impressive for anyone that works in the stand-up industry. Yeah. But there's someone that's quite fit.
So supposedly at one point because I was playing centre mid, so I ran from our box to their box to our box to their box because it was very end to end.
Oh, man.
So they just did shuttle runs, and then jumped up one a header, and supposedly I just went doubled over, and it was because I was knackered. Like I was done. It was like because centre mid was really tough in that game, and then when Bruce Devlin was commentating when I headed and I just put my head in my hands, he went, "That's the vascular dementia." I was like, yeah, it was a struggle, man, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
Fun. I did, but again, I've honestly been thinking about it. Even my wife Eleanor's been like, "Why are you still thinking about that football game?" Because I missed the penalty. You want to be better. Like I wanted people to go away and go, "Oh, Forbes was really like."
Do you know?
I worry about what people think about me, even in a charity football game.
Well, I thought you played alright.
The funniest comment was Jay Lafferty, a fellow comic. When I missed my penalty, she was on the sidelines and she just shouted out, "You've let us all down." I was like, "Oh,
that's class, man." Because I was thinking that, but like, I didn't want to say it. No, yours wasn't even the worst penalty.
But I enjoyed it because you don't really get to play football much these days, and you
looked raging at yourself at one point when I took a quick free kick and you went to control it and it either hit your shin or your knee and it went miles.
Yeah.
And I was like, you were like, sorry. And I was like, it's fine. You're not a professional footballer, Chris. I've played in games with professional footballers and it's not enjoyable. Yeah. I remember I played against Celtic in a testimonial for Thistle and I hit a crossfield pass and one of the players went, "Don't do that again." They were like, "Just give it to us."
Oh, wow.
It's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
Not enjoyable at all. So, yeah, I do actually see if you think about regrets. I can probably think of missed chances in football more than I can from anything in my childhood.
Yeah.
I know last year there was a game where me and the goalie went up and the goalie kind of punched it up and the goalie went down and I didn't know I had so much time and I tried to hook it and it went by the post and it was a kind of open goal. And I think about that a lot, whereas I couldn't tell you anything else.
Am I right in saying, and anyone that follows you online will have seen your incredibly impressive son's geography kind of photograph?
Yeah.
But you are someone that anytime I speak to about football, just seems to have this encyclopedic knowledge of dates and games and goal scoring. So you can probably even think of like Scotland games where a particular player missed a chance and you'll know the date and the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the date. Like, I'm not Rain Man, but yeah, I would know a lot about it. Yeah. My football knowledge is sad, I would say. Like, my mate Mac, we were at a barbecue yesterday, he was like, I've got a great one. He was like, who was the first Dutch player to play for Rangers? And he was like, this will take you ages. And I was like, was it Dijkstra? Peter Dijkstra? And he was like, yes. And then he was just like walking away, like, okay, that's over.
You'd be good in a pub quiz for when that round rolls round with this football question.
A friend of mine, Paddy Duffy. So, have you met Paddy? Paddy's brilliant. So, he writes a lot of the questions for Mastermind, Only Connect, all that kind of stuff. Paddy's brilliant. And Paddy asked me down to a pub quiz because he's got a lot of it covered and I could do the sport. But I'm like, this would be fun to do, actually. Yeah, but Alex, my son's different. He's got a photographic memory, so he can remember, like, if he sees the shape of a country, he just remembers that. We were going to Fuerteventura, and he was at the window seat, and we were flying over something, and he went, oh, look, the Isle of Man. And we took a picture, and then, because you can't get Google, started to go and compare, and I was like, it was the fucking Isle of Man. I was like, you're 5, how have you done this?
That's mad.
You used to eat coal out the fireplace. Like, how quickly have you changed, man?
A savant. You don't get to use that word.
No,
often,
you don't
but
really. But yeah, it's mad that. But I was trying to think of other big regrets. I don't know, or like big things you look back on. You must have had comedy ones actually. Have you done any comedy offers that you've turned down and it turned out to be good?
Comedy offers. I don't know. I feel like, I say yes to everything. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Driven by fear. I don't think so in terms of, I think the biggest things are, not that I've ever turned down, but things where you've got close to and thought, oh, it's probably not a big deal, but then maybe it has been.
Oh, mine's, yeah. I get down to Live at the Apollo, it seems to be every year, so I don't bother about that. But I was very close to going to Montreal for the Just for Laughs festival.
That would be good.
And way mentally, I was already eating poutine like, out there, and then I didn't get it, and that was do
you know actually? Man. And this feels terrible, even though it was a week ago. If you're watching this, but in last week's episode, speaking to Grado, I meant to bring this up and I totally forgot. I auditioned to be the role that he then got in Two Doors Down.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what's mad about Grado? He once kissed my mum on the way to a Simply Red gig. I have no context for that. He just told me that outside.
I hope people are listening back to back. Yeah, that's
He just told me that outside. Yeah. He's so funny, man.
So nothing else really that haunts you or pops into your head at night. You feel like you've got most of the main ones off your chest.
Yeah, if one comes up, I'll send you a voice note or something. You can put it in at the end. Or do you know what? I genuinely, if I really, really wanted, like I said to you, yesterday I was with 5 or 6 of my mates at a barbecue in the afternoon. I could have messaged my brother and sister, and they would have tons. I remember one time, did my brother hit me or something like that? And I said I had a hole in my heart because of that. He brings that up a lot. I don't regret that. I was just being dramatic because he was being a wee prick.
Do you know what? I've figured as well that, because a few people have told me stories about things that have happened when they were drunk, and I feel like I need to add that in as a set question every time. A big regret when you were drunk, because some people have told me stories and you've gone, oh yeah, you'll regret that.
I once get done for peeing in the street and they went, have you got ID? And I went, no, but I've got a website and I use my own website as my own ID. That was pretty bad.
Like, this is me, raybradshaw.com.
He was like, have you got ID? And I was like, no, but I just got a website. And I was like, if you go to raybradshaw.co.uk. And then we'd been at the garage. It was my football team night out, and I lived in town at the time. Me and Craig, who I mentioned earlier, were walking back. We were going to Tea in the Park the next day, and we were walking back, and went for a pee in a lane, and I came out, and the police came, and he was like, "You're pissing in the lane," and I was like, "No, I wasn't." And he was like, listen, I saw you do your belt buckle up. I can either fine you for peeing in the street or I can do you for indecent exposure. And I was like, oh man, that piss was class. Like, and then he's like, you got ID? And I was like, no, but I've got a website. He's like, what? Like, it's on the dark web. Just go in. And then I showed him it. And he was like laughing and chatting away to me. So I can't remember what you pay. Is it 60 quid? I don't know. It's my only brush with the law.
No way.
Look forward to me not getting into America now. That'll be good.
60 quid fine, but you get a couple of ticket sales, so it started to even out.
Yeah, it was 2014. My ticket sales were not expensive then. But yeah. No, I'm trying to think. There must be other ones.
Yeah.
Where...
when you asked me that, I thought, well, maybe you've got one when you said, like, have you ever turned down something?
No, there's been times where, again, you get close to stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I've not turned anything down because I think, similar to you, when you're self-employed, you get the fear of not getting work.
Yeah.
Like I do the adverts for Marks and Spencer's in the Scotland's team, and I missed a couple and they got other people in.
Right.
And I was away and I was in America visiting my brother. I was like, I can't do these. And it's the thought of someone else taking that off you.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it back, which was good. I think I'm probably cheaper than Gordon Smart or whoever it was. But no, I think, it's always just trying to get as much as you can. Because like we said at the start, the amount of the things that I do and you do, you just need to do so many different things.
Yeah.
Like I've seen you be a goth. I've seen you be Duncan Murray. The live show I did with you and Judy in Perth was phenomenal.
That was a good night, that one.
I remember we did that in I think it kind of go back to what we were saying at the start, because I got a very last minute call up to do that. I was meant to be off. Remember you were like,
you were so chill considering you'd never seen the show. I was panicked that you didn't have like the questions or lead out start, and I was panicking, and you were just like, yeah, this will be fine, this will be easy, no problem.
You messaged me and you're like, can you come do this? It's 1,200 people, someone's pulled out, it's last minute. I was like, I remember messaging you, I was like, I'm going to be off tomorrow night, if you really need someone, I'll come do it. And then you're like, yes. So I came and did it, and you and Sarah, who's produced it, and everyone was really stressed, and I was like, I'm good at talking. You'll be fine. Yeah. And so I don't, like, that goes back to what you said at the start. I was not flustered in any way. Yeah. And also, you've got the hard job. You need to make the people laugh and all that.
No, but yeah, you just hosted it.
Oh,
the whole night. I think you were like, yeah, this will be easy. Like, this will be. I was like, what? How do I do that?
Yeah, it's just narcissism. And then, but also, I do forget something I said that night, actually. The hula hooper.
Oh, to the hula hooper.
Yeah, she was like, so there was a hula hooper on stage and she was like showing it, and she was like, did you never do this as a kid? And in front of 1,200 people, I went, no, I had friends at school. And I regret that. That was harsh. That was harsh.
she was a great hula hooper.
She was
hooper
delightful. I went up and apologised after, but I was like,
she was doing like 30 hula hoops in one go.
And, I do regret that. That was harsh. Looking back on that, we shouldn't have done that. Was that filmed?
That one wasn't filmed, so
we're fine.
There's no documented footage of that.
Did you hula hoop at school?
Did I
hula hoop at school?
No,
I rest my case.
Do you know, it's annoying because when you're young, a hula hoop, I was just talking about hula hooping now, but it isn't really that cool. But when you get older, for some reason, you want to be able to do it. Like,
no, you don't.
If someone has a hula hoop at a family gathering, I feel like everyone gets up and you start going, I really wish I could do it. I wish I had learned when I was young.
You have such different family gatherings. Like,
hula hoops and accordions.
Yeah. My dad's like, I found some fireworks. You want to put these off?
I'm always annoyed that I can't do a hula hoop now. If one pops up,
I have never given that a thought in my life.
Have you given it a go?
I think I did it that night on stage with her.
Oh, that's right.
And then,
and you didn't think, I want to get good at this?
No. I was thinking, wait, how do I invoice? when do I get paid for this? That's the kind of thing I think about. Like,
honestly, just recently as well, I was thinking the same thing about a Rubik's Cube. I was like, I still haven't done one. I'd really like to.
Haley, my wife's dad, can do a Rubik's Cube really easily, yeah.
Oh, really?
Kai Humphries used to do Rubik's Cube while he was doing a set.
Oh,
so he'd be telling jokes, he'd be doing it.
There's like an actual wee formula, and I don't know.
I've got no interest in that.
Oh, man.
There's so few things I want to complete.
Well, I'm actually already creating new regrets that haven't even happened yet.
I just think stuff like, it'd be nice to go to Argentina once. Like, that's what I think. I'm like, oh, Japan looks cool. I'm not thinking, I need a Rubik's Cube, hula hoop. I need to watch every episode of Diagnosis Murder in Order. Like, I don't. Sounds like I don't think a lot.
But I feel like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, hopefully.
Because people always say about, if you overthink, that's where the problem is, and you seem to have mastered the art of being like, Yeah, that thing's happened,
Yeah,
but I can compartmentalize
Chris,
it.
this episode is going to haunt me in 6 years when I have a nervous breakdown. Like, absolutely haunt me. Like, all the writing was there. Like, in fact, he shut off his entire brain.
He'd really repressed all emotions.
So you know what it'll be? When I pick up that fucking Rubik's Cube, that's the start of the downfall, innit? Everything from there. No.
Well, it's enlightening though. Honestly, this has honestly been one of the more interesting episodes because it's a.
How shite are the others then? I couldn't come up with stuff.
Well, I said it was interesting, not very good, but but it's an interesting insight into a very different psyche, and I think it's impressive that people can go like, yeah, that's happened, but I'm not dwelling on it. I'm moving on. I'm jealous of it.
Do you know the good thing is? I'm kind of worried about what people think when this comes out. But see, by the time it comes out, I will not have remembered what I've said. So
you'll have already moved on from this one.
Moved on, yeah. I'll be worried about the whole. Oh, no, that's a lie. I will lie about the 9/11. What side are you on joke? I will. Because if that gets clipped, it might hurt the armadillo sales.
We're not putting that. This podcast doesn't have enough of a following to lose even like 2 people that might follow off of it.
Yeah, because you're too clean cut to put that out as well. That'll be fine. Put out. Oh, do you know what would be great? Does Sean edit these?
Chris Thorburn,
Chris,
the brilliant Chris Thorburn. Big
shout out to you. Get in touch with Jojo Sutherland and get the footage of him missing a penalty and put this in.
That's awful.
That's what they'll say when they watch.
Yeah.
You putting over the bar.
This is awful. I mean, again, we're going back to that story, but as an aside, in the group chat of that football thing, people are like, oh, I enjoyed that and good game and all of it. And then you put up something like, about a couple of hours later, I was like, oh, if you could get the photos or get the team photos up in the chat. And I feel like it could have stopped there. And then you went, and the videos of everyone missing penalties. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Mark, one of the players got COVID the next day, and I put in the chat, he said we all need to get tested, and I said the opposition don't need to get tested because you never get close to one of them. I thought he didn't respond to that, so I think he didn't take that well. So looking back, probably shouldn't have done that either, but that's fine. Have you spoke to him since?
I've tried as well, but I think he was really ill.
Okay, I'm going to say annoyed. Yeah, that's fine.
We could do another shout out for someone that's died and get the name wrong.
No, I forgot about that.
Already?
I've only spoken about that 20 minutes ago. That had already gone.
R.I.P. Paul Nelson. Genuine brother.
What else? Yeah, I must have done other stupid stuff on the radio, but yeah.
Mate, no, this is good. I think even throughout this episode, you keep saying nothing's happened, but then you've put in ones that other people that have come on here, they would have really dwelled on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas you've just been like, yeah, I did this thing.
It's a nice way of living your life, isn't it? Maybe. Imagine how fucking bald I'd be if I was stressed. It'd be so much worse. So much worse.
But, well, thank you very much for coming on and sharing these stories that mean nothing to you.
This was much better than I thought it was going to be.
I feel like I've got more regrets over your actions than you do, just from hearing them.
Yeah.
Where can people see you? What's coming up next in the kind of latter stages of the year? You got a tour?
I'm touring from February 2026. Go to raybradshaw.com.co.uk.
Yeah, go to that website, officer.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it getting hits on a lane in Sucky Hall Street at 3 a.m? That's odd. So Ray Bradshaw, so on tour. If you're Scottish based, I'm doing the Byre Theatre in St Andrews, the Dundee Rep, Perth Concert Hall, Aberdeen Lemon Tree, Eden Court in Inverness, Lass Theatre in Skye, Melrose and Armadillo in Glasgow, which would be cool. Please come to that. It's 3,000. It's too big. And then there's like another 30 dates in England, so come to them. Send your family. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anywhere near there, but like send them if they want to make a trip to Chorley.
A lot of them are Inverness and Vigorden, so they'll come up Eden Court.
Yes, I love that each year. Also,
it's nice.
I can't believe how far apart Aberdeen and Inverness are.
Oh, well, it's the 3-hour triangle. People say, kind of Glasgow, Aberdeen, Inverness. It's
in my head, I was like, that'd be a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
No. 2 hours, 20 minutes later, I'm still in fucking Elgin. How's this happened?
It's terrible to drive to Elgin. Sorry to anyone in Elgin.
Shout out Elgin. Shout out the Duty Cobbler. Good pub.
They used to do good. We did a preview there, me, you and Nelson once, did we not? Somewhere in Elgin.
Was I there?
And there was, I feel like I feel like you must have been, unless I've just made that up. Oh, I'm going to regret this.
I look forward to listening to this each week and hear stories that your friend has done and told you about. That's going to be fun.
Thank you once again, Ray. Do check him out. You've got your podcast as well, Fantasy Five Pods.
I forgot about that. I do a podcast called Fantasy Five. It's all about your Dream Five-a-side team. So
It's great fun. I love
Chris
that.
has done one. We've had everyone from Martin Geisler talking about the time he was a war correspondent to Chesney Hawkes talking about when he got his first ever number one.
I haven't told you this as well. Judy Murray listens to your podcast.
Does she?
And she sent me a message saying, just listen to your episode on Ray's Football Podcast. Good decision to make me manager. So there you go.
Judy, shout out. I'll drop you a message. And then maybe we can do the podcast and meet up, talk about Chris. That'd be really good. Oh, let's meet up, send Chris a picture, and he'll be stressed about what we're talking about.
I would be. Even the idea of it. Well, there you go. That's another episode. Please like, share, subscribe. All the things you're supposed to do in a podcast.
Give it 5 stars on.
Oh, is that a big thing?
Yeah, say give it 5 stars on
rate
Spotify
it,
or
5-star review on Spotify.
Acast or Apple or anywhere like that. That helps. That bumps the algorithm.
Oh, really? I don't think we're on a lot of those things. I think we're just on Spotify and YouTube. I think so.
It's really good when you end a podcast with admin. Like, it's really good, isn't it?
But we do need more Patreons. Let's end with a grovel, actually.
Yeah.
If you feel like you like this podcast enough to support it, this independent podcast, then feel free to sign up for £3 a month. Just £3 a month. You'll get extra bonus content and feature-length episodes. I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah.
I feel like you've been doing the podcast a bit longer than me, and most people have podcasts, and I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah. You should start an Oh no, you had an OnlyFans.
I did, yeah.
I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Is it finished now?
No regrets. The one thing I don't regret. I had to have an OnlyFans account for 12 months. I had a contract because I did a gig for OnlyFans. Not a topless one or anything. They just bizarrely did a stand-up OnlyFans.
Do that again today.
And they do it in the last Monday night of the Fringe. It's bizarre. It's handsomely paid, but the catch is you have to have an OnlyFans account and post on it a certain number of times a month.
Do you get your dick out?
And do that, at least a live stream, Bobby out. It's just me, Darren Connell.
The idea of... Nice pun, actually, I just got that. The idea of you doing a gig with your dick out is so funny.
So weird, yeah, just with an accordion.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Take the floor. Well, I feel like we've tried to finish this episode. What a horrible place to finish now. But
People are still listening.
with that mental image, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.